Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, That's Ready Homeschool. I am Mrs. T. Today we have a book outlet book haul review. This is a year later from the time that I bought all of these books. I posted a video on my channel, and this was a collection of books that I bought to help support our homeschooling journey here. And yeah, today we're going to evaluate, is it worth it? We're going to talk, did we even use or read the books? If we did we like it? And are we glad that we purchased it? If not, I'm gonna actually keep a running total of worth it and not worth it here on the screen. And then I will also be, at the end, totaling up the ones that aren't worth it, how much I paid for them, and how much I could have saved, because I have a hard time reining in my book spending. Take homeschooling out of it, you should see my own books. My own books I buy. I have a hard time reining it in. So let's go ahead, be honest. I'm just gonna go through these and yeah, we'll see if it was worth it or not. So the very first book that I unboxed last year was Un, deux, trois. This is a French rhyme book. It is really pretty on the inside. And if it was just this, I would say it's probably not worth it. However, it came with a CD, which we didn't have a CD player, I don't think, at the time. We have since acquired a CD player this past year, and I am so glad that we purchased it. So yes, we have listened to it. Yes, we have read part of it, not all of it. Yes, it is worth it, and I'm glad that I found this on Book Outlet. Okay, the next one here is The Seasons of Arnold Appletree by Gail Gibbons. This is a little book that tells the story of Arnold, and it goes through basically the life cycle of an apple and an apple tree. It is really straightforward. It's to the point. I wish they had this book at my library, but they don't. And I will say my kid does love this. He picks it up all the time. We have read it. I would say this is worth it because of how much he likes it and how much we've learned from this one. So yes, I will keep this one in the worth it pile. The next one we have here is The King of Kindergarten. This is a very cute book. We have read this one. We bought it because it is called out by one of our pieces of curriculum. I believe it is the Layers of Learning curriculum, and we have read it a few times. However, I would probably say this one for us is not worth it. And the reason why it's not worth it is they have at the library the Queen of Kindergarten, which is like very, very similar. It's by the same people. I'll put a picture of it here on the screen. And my child actually prefers the Queen of Kindergarten. So we have actually taken that one out of the library, and we've enjoyed that one more than the one that we have at home. So for us, I'm going to put this in the not worth it pile. But it is really cute still. If you can get your hands on it at the library, definitely check it out. It's very cute. Okay, the next one was a box set. I've gotten rid of the boxes. I like them outside of it. So I'm just going to hold up the first one here. And this is Horrible Geography. It was a box set of different readers. Now, this is way beyond my children's level right now. And I had no intention of us acquiring or reading these in this past year. So no, we have not read them. I did, however, I didn't read cover to cover, but I did spot check, pre-read it. And I would say with what I've seen, I would actually say yes, this is still worth it. I thought it was pretty funny. I was laughing and I loved the illustrations. They were really silly. And I do think that this will be worth it. A fun nonfiction reader for when my kids get older, and a fun way to explore geography. It's really unique. So I would say yes, I'm gonna add that to my worth it pile. The next one was another book series. This is from DK Stories. It was a collection of chapter books. Jane Goodall, this is one of the books. I was expecting us to actually go through these books, or at least one or two of them, and we did not. We tried, actually. My child was not interested at all at the time in, he wasn't really interested about books about people. Like he, at the time, was really into animals and things like that. But I do really like these books. I have read cover to cover the Helen Keller one, not this one here. And I'm going to say that yes, this was still, I do think this was a good find. I still think this is worth it. And I am really hoping that as my child gets a little bit older, we can go through these again. All right, the next book that we got is from DK. This is their children's encyclopedia. And yes, resounding yes, we've used it multiple times this past year. This is definitely worth it. We have used it as a fun way for my child to start researching and kind of going down rabbit holes. So basically, what we do is he picks a random page. And let's say he picked this one, which we actually haven't done this page yet. But if he picks a page here, we read about it. And then I read related topics here, and I let him pick another page to explore. And we have been randomly exploring and using the encyclopedia, and he has been getting used to like hopping back and forth and finding the connections between these topics, and that's actually been really valuable. So an absolute big solid yes, that was worth it. That was a good find. Okay, the next one on my list here are some early phonics readers. This is the Curious About Phonics set. There are 12 books in here. We tried to use it. It is above my child's level, but I'm going to say a resounding no. This was not worth it. These books are too advanced to be, in my mind, to be considered early phonics readers. And by the time, like, the content that's in there kind of matches more what you might see in like a typical picture book. So I feel like unless your child is really into Curious George, I feel like this might not be, I don't know, it's not the best phonics set. So for example, in one of the it's like the first or second book, one of the words is birthday, which is like, I mean, that's a really big, long word for an early phonics reader. My child hits roadblocks on there all the time, and we read them together occasionally, but he doesn't really ask for it. He doesn't like the length of them. He doesn't feel like he gets his bang for his buck when I'm reading them to him, and it's gonna be a while until he can read them. Okay, speaking of Curious George, we had a number of workbooks. We had 2 pre-K workbooks called Learning with Curious George. We had the pre-K reading, and we had the pre-K math. Now, these ones we did not use. This is not worth it. And the reason why I would say that is because we have so many stinking workbooks. I didn't need to buy these extra workbooks, so I'm going to put these in the not worth it pile. They are pretty on the inside. I do like them, but we also have the kindergarten ones. They're just not worth it. We had so many other workbooks that we have that we can leverage. And I want to say that I think one of the things that I struggle a little bit with homeschooling is that I see things, I'm like, oh, that's a really good deal. And these were a really good deal. So I was like, let's get them. But now I have way too many material things to use. So I just not gonna be able to get through things like this unless I'm like forcing it. So anyway, I would say not worth them at this point in time. In fact, actually, I'm gonna do this randomly. If you are interested in the kindergarten or the pre-K, comment down below, let me know. I will select one of you and I will send them to you. So that way they get some love. I just don't think we're gonna have time to do these. So comment down below and I'm happy to mail them to you if you're here in the United States. All 4 of them. So first comment will get it. Okay, next. Also 2 workbooks from Curious George. These are the Adventures in Learning. This one's the pre-K book, which we are actually hoping to do this summer. And I would say this one is worth it because this one is definitely more unique. So you're basically what you're doing is you're reading a story and then you're covering different topics. So this one is called Hot Air Balloon. It says Curious George is curious about reading, math, science, and social and emotional. So for reading, you're going to be covering some, you're going to read the story, then do some short vowels. You're going to formulate some opinions. You're going to be covering letters P and Q. And then you're going to have a couple of CVC words. Like, that is really cool, all based on the content of the story that you read. We have some math, some science, and like I said, social and emotional. This one, yes, absolutely. I'm going to add that to the worth it pile, and I cannot wait to do this one. We just haven't had time for it quite yet, but I'm really excited. And I said this last year in my video that I was going to do a flip through for these, and I think I'm going to try getting that done so you can see the inside of it too. And this is the K level. This is ages 5 to 6, and it's the same thing. You read a story. You're going to practice some activities based on that story. So yes, worth it. All right, next workbook, because I didn't have enough, I have Adventures with Zap. This is a creative writing prompt workbook. We have not tried it, and I'm going to say this one is not worth it, simply because we have so many other things. I did not need another thing. Next one I bought was the National Parks Journal. Not worth it. And this is just because I mean, like, it's a great idea. The idea here is that you're going to visit all these national parks and you're going to journal about it, and you'll have one spot where you have all your recorded information about it, and that sounds great. However, we do family yearbooks, and we do, you know, we have our own things that we print. I don't think that we needed this. In fact, I know we didn't we didn't need this. We'll see if we actually use this. I do wish I didn't purchase this one though. So the not worth it pile, which is getting steadily bigger, which is, oh my gosh, horrible. All right, the next one is from Betty Crocker. This is Outdoor Cooking with Betty. The intention behind buying this was that I really wanted to get into this habit of having my kids prepare their lunch, but I wanted to bring it outdoors. And I thought that this would be a fun, easy way to pull in like fun camping things. But you guys, we are not gonna have steamed clams. This is not at all what I thought it was. So it says recipes for camping, but I don't know what kind of this is the kind of camping. Okay, we're not doing that. This is not worth it. Just honestly, I don't even think we're going to use this. We are going to probably give this book a new home as well. So I would say not worth it. More workbooks. From Nature Smart, we have, or Nature Smarts, we have their ages 4 to 6 workbook. And this one is a science-based workbook where you are in nature. So this one here is talking about, for example, leaves or needles. You're learning about deciduous or coniferous trees. You are observing a tree, and I actually want to say that even though we haven't done this one yet, this one is going to be worth it, and we have every intention of doing it. In fact, what made me even think about doing this video, what reminded me, is I was trying to figure out our summer plans, and I pulled this out because I thought this would be fun to do with my kids, and I was like, wait a minute, I think I got this in a book haul. So I'm gonna say worth it with that. And this is the Step Up. This is ages 7 to 9. We obviously have not done this. I only have a pre-K-er, an upcoming kindergartner, and an upcoming preschooler. So yeah, this is not worth it. Or sorry, this is worth it. I got distracted by the cat. But I would say this one is worth it. The content that is covered in here is very unique versus other workbooks. I haven't seen anything quite like this, and I do really, really like what I've seen so far, and I think that's going to resonate with my kids. Okay, the next one that I got was the Magic Treehouse graphic novel. This is The Night at Dawn. We have read this twice. We did really like it, but I'm going to say this is not worth it. And the reason why I'm going to say that is because we have it at the library, and although we enjoyed it, we're now done with it, and it's just taking up space. I don't think, I mean, maybe he'll reread it when he gets a little bit older, but yeah, I'm gonna say not worth it. Good, enjoyable. I'm glad that we read it. We read it twice, but we could have read it twice from the library. We did not need to own this book, so I'm gonna say not worth it. Okay, next one. This is The Amazing Things for Knights to Make and Do. This is a workbook, a very, very small workbook, and we have not done it yet. However, this one I would say is going to be worth it because we are doing night school as part of our summer plans, and this is something that we are doing. So this is, and I'll be talking about this in my summer plan video, but we are going to be using this, and we are going to start training ourselves to be knights. Knights need to be smart, they need to be strong, they need to be brave, they need to be clever. So we have a lot of things that are going to be a part of night school, and we are going to be using this as well as some of our activities. So I'll put that in the worth it pile because we're about to use it. Next book, we have the Penguin Historical Atlas of the Vikings. This is definitely, I think I said it in my homeschool haul video, but this is definitely an adult book. I thought we'd be able to use the maps and things, This is not something that we have used, and I'll be honest, we have so many atlases and other things like that I don't really foresee us actually ending up using this. My husband and I are both kind of interested in this period, but I'm gonna go ahead and say not worth it with this one for the purposes that we wanted to. It's really cool, it's filled with a lot of information, but I'm not getting around to it, so is what it is. You know what? Lesson learned. Okay, so next book here we have is the My First Fact File, The Vikings. It is, you guessed it, another workbook. But this one is filled with projects and activities, and I'm actually going to say that this one is going to be worth it. We haven't used it yet. We are looking after night school to go into Viking school as part of our summer plans, so it's going to be worth it because we are going to be using it, and it is actually really full of very interesting information. And I think that for learning about the Vikings, this is pretty gentle. There are a lot of projects, a lot of like things you can do, like a feast, that I know is going to be a huge hit with my my kids. So we're going to definitely be doing this, and I'm going to put this in the worth it pile. All right, last book here from the haul. I got this 1,500 sticker fun history. Now, at the time that I got the book, I was like, oh, this is not what I thought it was. This is really full of gore. It's a little more violent than I was expecting. And so my feelings are the same. We haven't used this. We probably won't. I'm going to put this in the not worth it pile. Yeah, it was more violent than I thought. Okay, so that is the end of the haul. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, this is the number of books. I'm going to put it on the screen here. The number of books that I ended up purchasing. This is how much I don't think was actually worth it, which is terrible. And if I didn't purchase these, if I had seen these books in person and made the decision not to buy them, knowing what I know now, this is how much money I could have saved on that haul. And the reason why I wanted to do this, you guys, is to show you. There are so many hauls out here. I mean, and I will do them again. I love book hauls. Even if I wasn't doing YouTube, I do book hauls. That's me. I love books. But I do think it's important that we recognize that not all hauls are smart hauls. And I would say based on my piles here, this was probably one of them. So, you know, lesson learned. There are certain things that I won't be needing, like a lot more workbooks, for example, not at this age level. It's worth keeping in mind. So that is it, you guys. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you soon. Oh, and don't forget, comment down below and let me know if you're interested in those Curious George workbooks. If you live here in the continental US, I'm happy to send them to you. So message inside, make a comment, and then I will send you a direct message and we can start arranging something to get them to you. All right, everyone, you have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.